You
Yeah, it's
done?
what's the thing that we sh say before every show? We can make this one quick. Yeah, it's been a busy day. Let's do a quick one and then talk for an hour.
Wait, 20 minutes. It's gonna be 20 minutes. We're gonna do it.
Okay, you were talking about, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I wanted to talk about Valor Vision.
Hmm.
Did you want to mention why I was talking about them?
Yeah, no. Today's just been like a total marathon. I feel like I'm behind. Rohan is like has customers lined up. My payment system is currently still broken. So I think now it's maybe three or four people that have been like, I want to pay. And I'm like, it's still broken. Sorry, let me just comp you.
Yeah.
So, so I do have this problem that I need to fix, and so but I haven't gotten to it because I've just been like talking to people, and the payment stuff is always a little bit hairy, um, and so I want to make sure it's like working correctly and everything. But yeah, hopefully I'll have that like sorted today and actually get my first money in the bank for BitterClip. There seems to be like a lot of pull, like and both from Rohan's side, and then also now I just talked to like a close association of one of my close friends who's in personal training and really like at the top of his game with that. And yeah, he basically said like the worst part of his job is processing videos. And he has
Yeah.
started like taking videos of his training sessions. And he really wants to have that very high touch relationship with his clients. And like that's the whole point of the videos is like that everything is kind of remembered and he can really have that attention to detail. But like, yeah, that it's basically like too much work that it ends up not getting done. So very similar story, and just different vertical. And so yeah, it's super interesting. The one like big like missing piece right now in the current machinery, like I demoed him and he was like, wow, this is really cool. And it was already kind of working because he narrates a lot when he's like training. And right now it's all based off of like the voice transcripts, not so much like a visual narration of what's happening. And so, yeah, that's sort of like once I kind of get my feet under me and the next day or two, like get the payments working, make sure upload is smooth, make sure it's not buggy inside of the chat widget when you make a clip and all that kind of stuff. Um, get those basics like pounded out so that like, like Rohan's like ready to open the floodgates, like please, like let's see what happens. I want to tackle this sort of visual narration stuff a little bit too because I think it's complementary. I think it even is relevant to like these kinds of podcasts we're doing. We're not always just doing like a Zoom screen share. Some where we're starting to do more screen share, and I think we'll probably just do more and more of it over time as we get stuff like more dialed in. Um, so I think that'll be really fascinating to have like a strong visual diarization as well on it, and it just kind of yeah, it just makes it even more valuable. Basically, the same like fundamental general purpose concept. Um, so that's where I'm at. I think I just like I've been on the phone like nonstop. So I was like, oh my goodness. Um, it's
Nice.
I've always shied away from like lots of meetings. So it's but I guess it's a good problem to have. Not complaining.
Yeah.
One bless.
That's fun.
Yeah. And yeah, you mentioned that someone working on this kind of stuff. Oh, let me share a screen.
Yeah. Kind of it just made me think um William from Valor Vision.
Hmm.
And I met him in Austin, founder. Look at all these
Hmm.
schools that use
Hmm.
their software.
Hmm.
Yeah, it looks like camera tells you how
Hmm.
you're doing or helps you improve
Hmm.
form. I think
Hmm.
that's the main thing.
Hmm.
So closest thing I could think of in the elite
Hmm.
training space.
Hmm. Hmm.
Pretty
Very interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Fun.
Check it out.
That I think did I send you something else? I don't know. I don't think I have just while I'm screen sharing. I think I have one other thing that I sent you and I can't remember what it is. Let me find it.
For housekeeping.
Yeah. Or just links to look at. Ah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I have not really opened the socials today. Um, I did get my social publishing wired up, and what I was gonna try to do this morning was cut a couple clips and see if I can post them like on X and other places, like okay, for the meetup where we like gave some shout outs to some of the companies there, like posted on their feeds and stuff, because I'm sure they would like it. And start doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've not had a chance to do that. One thing I did that was kind of fun is because oh yeah, actually today was supposed to be our like 2 week like check-in point. This is this
This is
is
day
this,
14.
this is day 14.
Okay.
Okay, let me while you got this up, let me I'm gonna be not looking at the screen for a second. I'm gonna see if I can pull up some analysis I did
Yep,
online.
I can just talk about this one really
Yep.
quick. I just think it's a fun question. So Paul Graham says in office hours, he asks, can we induce network effects? Okay. Would it make sense to go full stack? I guess that's like be vertically integrated. And now he asks, can we make this AI proof? That's a good question to ask when you're building anything now. Can we ensure this company still exists if AIs do most work? It's a fun question. Says usually the solution involves making the product useful to agents, I guess to other agents. It's especially good if you can enable agents to interact with one another. Then you're safe the way marketplaces are. Unless a model company wins, then all bets are off. But useful to agents. So
Yeah.
we saw yesterday that agent traffic has surpassed human traffic. So better be building things for agents.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I
And
call
like
the company bitter.
every company that we keep looking at, it's like Kanban board, get all your tasks done with agents, humans and agents working together.
Yeah, I think one thing that I do feel like I'm doing a little differently than a lot of these products, and I'm always the armchair critic here, but is that like in like the bitter like doctrine, right? And like in like the high level doctrine documents in there, it's describing that all the satellite products with the constellation that they have to be like agent first. They're actually designed for agents. They're not really designed for a human. That like the actual like app you log into, like even BitterClip, like the app is like a sort of necessary evil right now. It's a place where like file uploading doesn't work well in ChatGPT. So fine, we need to give you like an upload surface. In general, that little MCP app thing is kind of crappy. So it's maybe still more ergonomic to kind of browse around in BitterClips.com, or maybe I'll make an iOS or Android app, whatever, same idea. But like over time, I expect that to go away. So it's I like do as little of that as possible. Like BitterLog, right? Like at the meetup, Sentry's talking about how nice it is to chat with your log. It's like, yeah, I'm not even going to build a UI. There's no charts for you to look at. It's nonsense. Like no one's ever going to log into a Sentry again to look at charts except in a very rare scenario. And even in that scenario, you could just ask your agent to make that chart for you
Yeah.
in the one-offs
Yeah.
where you need one. And
You just
that's
need to
just
tell
going to
your
get,
agent to look at Sentry and for it to make the changes
I mean, yeah, it's just,
that Sentry is
it's pretty much
reporting errors about,
exactly. So like for the most
ideally.
part, this is all just going the way of the dinosaur. And so like, yeah, I think um that's my thesis. I've started to open source a couple docs pages now for the satellite properties. So that's a start. I think it's I think GitHub's like a really important discovery mechanism for agents. Um, and yeah, I'm still like mulling over potentially open sourcing a lot of infrastructure. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, I think that would like turbocharge discovery. Um, So I think, yeah, I think that's when I see a lot of these products out there, it's all about we're giving you a place you can log in with like a little chat window where you're going to orchestrate. It's like, I don't know, maybe it should look more like a programmatic interface. And yeah, there's only a very few places that are going to be the actual like interface with the human rather than a bunch of different dot coms. Um,
You think those are
Well,
Anthropic
yeah,
and Chat.
the big three. Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much. Yeah,
Gemini.
yeah, yeah. Those with distribution. Um, and the
What
best
if
thing
we
is,
what could we steel man the other direction? Like um maybe that's where people who are not going to actually be creating things are they're going to be hanging out in the in one of the big models. But you and
Mhm.
I as I don't know some more professional
I no, I don't
computer
think so.
people
I don't think
are
so.
gonna have something local.
No, I don't think so.
We're gonna connect it to whatever model we want, and it doesn't
Mhm.
matter about the model because all of our context is what matters. All of our
Mhm.
voice, all of our conversations, all of our files, and all of that is gonna live in a bitter box, where it's gonna live
Okay.
on my computer.
Yeah, it's hard to forecast. Like it's true that like the local models might commoditize to a point where that's really practical and attractive. It does feel
But it
like
still
we're
doesn't matter if they come, it's I'm saying where the cockpit lives. The you might still
Mhm.
choose to use a cloud model,
Mhm.
it, one of the big three,
Mhm.
but are you actually going to store all of your data up there with them? Yeah, they'll have some context,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
all of your files can
Mhm.
still live somewhere else, which is essentially the your files are
Mhm.
the makings of the harness.
Yeah.
They're your second brain.
Yeah, I think it's both, but the value of that context bank is going to be multiplied manyfold by the power of the model that has access to it. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think that, and we live in a competitive world, so typically you're going to want to do whatever's competitive.
But couldn't you just replace one model for the next as long as you have
That's
all
not
of
what
the
I see.
same
No, it's
you
not.
have all of the same context
No,
around you?
that's not what I see. I think that you
Like
clearly see
the
it.
model doesn't have any memory in and of itself. It just is like its memory. It's just referencing
Mhm.
it's just referencing markdown files that it's creating. It's just
Mhm.
creating memory and storing it. You just are not seeing it because it lives in the cloud.
Well, if that were the case, I'd be using Gemini to do my coding, but it's unusable for the work I do. And I use Claude, um, but I don't prefer it most of the time. It's just yeah,
ChatGPT has, yeah, the model might be better, but
yeah.
which one has ChatGPT you think also has a better harness for you because it has all of your
Not
um
even because in Codex, like um, they don't you don't get the same memory
right.
access as in ChatGPT. So it's a separate sort of harness. The memory, if you enable it, is more localized.
Mhm.
Um,
Do you
but
mean
yeah, it's a model.
you like the vibes
Yeah,
of the OpenAI model?
it's just the output. I mean, you there's many benchmarks on it. There's like the deep SWE, the new one that's out, and it's just very clear.
But that's just comparing model capability.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's the same context, but one model can be a much more productive.
yeah. So
Yeah.
why would we have our cockpit? Why would we have all of our context
Mhm.
stored with ChatGPT as well? You can just plug
Mhm.
ChatGPT
No, I don't
or
think you need to.
you can
Yeah,
just
I don't think you need to. Um, I guess yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it just seems like right now there is a dynamic where the model providers are in a position to capture the bulk of where context is banked. Um, yeah, that just seems the natural order of the market, unfortunately, just
and
like the
is
U.
it is like just
Yeah.
then I would argue that Google has a better advantage because
Hmm.
ChatGPT and
Hmm.
Anthropic is tiny
Yeah.
in the
No,
consumer
it's
use
surprising.
space.
I agree.
So maybe we shouldn't even talk about that in the consumer use space. We should just talk about
Mhm.
um, ChatGPT because it has name recognition and Gemini.
I think it's surprising that Google's not like in the lead, especially like DeepMind and everything. I posted a tweet on Adi Osmani. I was like, dude, like you've been a coding hero of mine since I got started. You created To Do MVC, like, um,
Yeah.
and like, what's up? Like, how do I get like productive long horizon work out of Gemini? He didn't even respond. And I was like, that speaks for itself. Like, step it up, Gemini. Like, seriously. It doesn't make any sense to me. But other than maybe they just have a very strong incentive because they're so scaled and they're replacing search with like AI search and stuff that they're really just optimizing for these just hyper quick, hyper cost efficient. Like that's the Pareto frontier that they're optimizing for.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of like the trajectory they started off on, and it's just kind of snowballed, maybe. Um, and who knows, they very well just like could come out of the blue with like a Gemini 4 that's like, okay, this thing like just out run circles around everything now. It wouldn't surprise me if that happened. So, yeah, I think it is a lot more than just the context. I think it has a lot to do with how the model can retrieve the context, and that's not just like the LLM and its weights. Like when you when I ask like in ChatGPT, like tell me everything about John, it's searching like many gigabytes of chat, and that search system, I have no idea what's happening there, but it's a combination of inference and I'm sure lots of other systems and loops kind of mashed together in a nice little recipe. And it seems to work much better than anything else I've seen. And and it just kind of works out of the box. You don't have a bunch of machinery locally, which you would have to plug external inference into and then
Mm.
do round trips back and forth many, many times before you like it's just yeah, people like fast, convenient, and will probably give up the level of
Mm,
control in
yeah.
lots of
Okay.
cases,
That's a good argument.
you know.
If the model has to pull context from your machine as opposed to
Mhm.
having it
Yeah.
in the same data center as a
Yeah,
compute,
exactly. Yeah.
that's going to be a
Um,
lot faster.
yeah. And just hyper optimized because they're doing it for everyone. OpenAI has to serve what, like a billion people now?
Mhm.
So they can throw 1,000 engineers at figuring out how to do hyper efficient context retrieval that's relevant to the request and the thread. And that's a very general purpose problem, very hard problem. So I just feel like locally MacGyvered harnesses, I'm sure they can be good at it, and they can maybe even be better in specialized use cases. So I'm like, it's not either or. I keep saying that, but I just think that the general methods that scale with compute tend to win out over handcrafted cleverness. That is the bitter lesson right there.
Yeah.
Um, so um, yeah, I guess that would be my sort of 2 cents on it. But like
ChatGPT has 900 million users and Gemini is 750.
right,
So
like so round up.
that's
Okay, let me
yeah.
share my little 1 week thing. Let's see. Let me share my screen. Do. Terminal. Okay. So yesterday I connected BitterClip to like the LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. And so at that time, I was like kind of in there creating the apps and stuff, and I just wanted to like pull the stats of like, okay, what's happened like this campaign, right?
Mm,
And this is my second brain. It's called Landing 100. And I've got this little folder where just every day I kind of like say, okay, read like the transcript with John, like here's kind of like what's going on a little bit, and I try to download some stuff. So it's a pretty lossy little thing, but it has, captures some of it. And but so it was interesting. I kind of like pulled all these stats, and so it's kind of interesting. You can see, okay, on X, I get the most impressions, 82K. I think that all happened mostly on that like overnight where we responded to Greg Eisenberg's tweet. And like the morning I
hmm
woke up, I was like, there's like thousands of people watching. It's cool. Um, Engagement rate, I guess it's high for X. Lots of profile visits, but like basically no clicks. And I don't know what they mean by link clicks. I don't know if this is like because I have bitter SH on my profile, but typically don't post. I don't think I've ever posted links. Maybe a YouTube link once or something. But like, yeah, I natively embed the video, and so this must be my bitter SH on my profile. So very lossy funnel in that sense. You go from 80,000 views to like 40 clicks or something. That's pretty bad. And yeah, and basically I didn't have any engagement prior to that. So it's a big increase. And then LinkedIn, not so many impressions, 20 engagements, 1% CTR. So 23 times higher than X. And it's saying like that my audience is like very much like in my potential like ICP. Like it's like founders at small companies, so forth. And it's like it's identifying like Rohan as like ICP basically. Like here's someone who's like, is the kind of person who has demand for what you're building,
Yep.
basically. Um, and then our show, a paltry 445 lifetime views and 11 subscribers. Please like and subscribe in the link below and help us out here. It means a lot. Um, but I don't know, like it's kind of surprising, but I guess I think a lot of this is from me posting it on LinkedIn too, because on LinkedIn, I post a link to the YouTube. So the only way anyone can watch it is clicking
Oh
on
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, not like a whole lot of distribution. I think, as you said, we have the 10 people watching. Maybe it's a little more than that, but it's somewhere close to there. And the strategic finding, platforms play different roles. Yeah, basically, X is about awareness. LinkedIn potentially could be like high conversion, and YouTube is essentially it calls it the archive. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, and the biggest one is like the launch one, 14K impressions and replies in big accounts threads. So business barista. I guess that must be Greg. Um and yeah, so attention is huge attention, no conversion. This is like a problem. That makes sense because I still don't have my billing working. So hopefully I can fix that soon. And yeah, it's kind of saying like if I want to, get this to turn into anything meaningful, I need to have like clear calls to action more, actually think of it as a funnel rather than just discovery. Um,
Well, it's a good
yeah.
question. What do you think of it as?
Mhm. Yeah, no, I mean it, it's still um very organic. But I do feel like yeah, it's really discovery, I think, for the most part. I mean that's literally my message to you, I think, was like, can we should pull it up. It is something like, hey, can you like help me like sharpen like how to even like think about going to market with what I'm doing and stuff and how
Yeah.
investors might view it, or like I think that's kind of what I asked you. Um, and I feel like that's still kind of what I'm exploring. But yeah, I just feel like with BitterClip, I may be finding some like, what is it called? Product market fit or
Market.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Or market pull. People are asking you to do things.
Yeah, yeah. And sort of like ikigai a little bit, like it's kind of like overlapping on a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
that I kind of am passionate about and am good at and stuff. And so like yeah, that it just feel like that's the most valuable thing is like it's bringing clarity and helping me make the connections that I need. And yeah, I think it gives credibility. Like when people at least see that you show up every day, they may not watch the show, but they'd be like, "Damn, this guy shows up every day. Like he's not like playing around. Like maybe it means something." And it means that like when you do have like a even a cold introduction, like they can kind of research you and see what you're about. Or if it's like a warm introduction, even more so, like they kind of already know you, right? They've like maybe watched an episode or two, and it's like, okay, like
Yeah.
I kind of know
Yep.
what's up with you. And you
Yep.
can choose to associate or not, and that's good. People can kind of self-select. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to really describe it in a nutshell, but it feels very valuable. Like it's not about these stats necessarily. It's more about just like um yeah, it's hard to describe in a word, really. But I feel like making the show is what catalyzed BitterClip, which was is creating marketable. So it's a very indirect way, like kind of a weird thing. Um,
Yeah, this is where I was talking about you having like you're like, okay, I know how to use the lightsaber now. Uh which direction to go? What
mhm,
path do I want to clear with
mhm.
this thing?
Yeah.
And yeah, hard to know.
Well, it's funny because like it's like what is it like life imitates art, art imitates life, right? In a way,
Mhm.
like, that saying it kind of feels like that. It's like I'm like feeling I'm using the lightsaber now to like make the show a success, which
Yeah.
means like okay, well, okay, fine. BitterClip like literally it started off as we have these mundane problems of like uploading, potentially clipping, distribution. It fucking sucks. Like, okay, it's pretty mundane, but now it's like, well, actually, no, that looks like it accidentally like discovered like a product that seems to be valuable, and in and of itself. And now I'm like, okay, well, now I really want to make BitterClip good because I've kind of like it's an existence proof of this whole of what Bitter embodies. It's saying that I'm here talking my big talk is like, yeah, like anyone can just like shit out a new SaaS company at the cutting edge. You don't need $30 million. Like you can just like really focus for a month. And like now I've said that I'm 2 weeks into BitterClip, and yeah, I'm hoping in 2 weeks from now, it's like a very nice to use good product that's on par with the funded ones out there.
Yeah.
And at least for the kinds of use cases I have, and I know other people have based on long, intimate conversations with people that are excited about it. So like, yeah, I hope that like now I'm like really motivated to be like, yeah, I need to prove this, like, and that it's like, and that makes a good show too, is like of like, is it going to work or not? And I don't know, but it's this very strange recursive thing. So,
Yep.
do you have words for it? I don't know.
It's a perfect thing to be building because you have a use case for it every day. You get to dog food using it, or we get to dog food using it mm, by being on the show every day. So I think it's a great thing to be building.
Yeah. Um, So yeah, I don't know. I think there was some other stuff I was thinking about. But yeah, that's our. So I guess what's your assessment of the 2 week? Should we continue?
Let's continue. Yeah, I definitely want to do the
Great.
100 days because we said we would. Um, and I mean, you could say, okay, you have a product now, like it's BitterClip, and you can try to bring that to life. Maybe the question is, if you fast forward BitterClip, what kind of uh, traction do you need or paying customers do you need in order to justify like it worked?
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I forget what you're charging, $40 a month.
99.
So
99.
99.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's $100. So yeah,
Yeah.
100 customers.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
it does seem like that price point is good. Because actually the few people I've talked at length, they're like, dude, I'll pay you more for this. This would be like so if this like works, it was so valuable to me.
Yeah.
Like Andrew, right, the trainer, he's like a really elite trainer. He's like really good. And he's now taken all these videos and this is like the bottleneck in his business. So not only is it like eliminating hours of work, but like the whole purpose of BitterClip was like as a go-to-market mechanism, to like help get like distribution and awareness. And so I think there's like a personal brand multiplier for the kinds of people that need this. And so it's like not just time saver, it's also like marketing infrastructure,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
ultimately can make you more money. And so it's like it's building your intangibles and and so yeah, I think that's really the business that it's in, um, is intangible asset production, um, or mining the intangible assets you actually have and making them marketable, really. Um,
Does $100 cover compute costs or would it?
I mean, it would depend on the customer and what kind of videos they're uploading. What I'm seeing now with my initial discovery calls is people are throwing like the first video Andrew threw in was above my 5 GB file size limit.
Oh, right.
And that
Yeah.
was just like an
Yeah.
hour-long video from his iPhone. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, like, okay, I guess 5 GB is not enough.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and
then is there like a base cost plus compute cost,
Yeah,
something like
exactly.
that?
And people are gonna have expectations about like Rohan, I think he mentioned he wants like 4K and he wants like color adjustments and like really like high fidelity video. And what I'm
Yeah.
learning about video rendering is like it's just like JPEGs. There's like a scale of like how hard you want to process them.
Hmm.
And I mean, really, there's like almost no limit to how hard you can dial that. So if you like process it really, really heavily, you can actually get like a really high quality video and like a relatively small file size because it's like spending so much time like making each frame like really nicely compressed without like a lot of loss, but
Yeah.
it's computationally more expensive. So like yeah, I'm still like having to feel all that out, but like for now, it's largely discovery. I'm more excited to just like I mean, I consider everyone who's just as like a design partner, like they're
Yeah.
gonna sit there with me and like file the bugs and give me feedback, and I think that's the most valuable thing. And just like yeah, just make it like that's the opportunity. I feel like nothing in BitterClip is rocket science, and I feel like probably everything I'm doing now will be heavily commoditized in like 18 months, and so the arbitrage right now is just like doing like the bitter thing of like, yeah, you can really like leapfrog these dysfunctional software companies that are still living in 2024 with their Kanban boards and their committees and their workflows where this developer has to hand it off to this developer, has to hand it
Hmm.
off to this developer, but it can't move in the board until this person's reviewed it, and
Hmm.
blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, brrr, like GPUs go burr, like codec spins, like
Yeah.
pod spins and stuff happens. And yeah, I think that's the arbitrage. And so I think yeah, it's sort of mine to lose at this moment. I feel like. So and optimistic. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Um
All right.
well, yeah, I
Is that a
think
wrap?
we are at about 30 minutes, so we're good.
Let's do it.
We're doing it.